please welcome to the show, Deejay Knight. There he is.
Hello.
Oh, I'm loving it.
What up, DJ?
What up?
DJ, come take a seat on the couch here. Just slide on in.
I'm gonna try.
Walk into the arm of the chair. That's the trick.
Oh, the arm. Okay.
You're like walk right onto the edge, and then it will finally let you sit down. You know what, Khalif? I think you might need to. Reseat yourself.
Taking up too much
You might
space.
need to scooch over a bit more. Like
booty in the
right
pants.
there you go.
Boom.
There you go. And now we've got
corner.
space. Now we've got a space for Khalif. Back on the yellow couch. You can do it.
Let's see.
There you go.
Look at
We
that.
got
Oh,
it.
we
We
did
got
it.
it. We got it.
Nice.
We got it.
Did it.
Too
I don't
far
know why
away,
it's just-
bro. I'm trying to scoot over. It won't let me.
Nintendo do not make this easy. I don't know why they
Very
have to
proud
do
of
it
you
this way.
guys.
Khalif, first of all, of course, thank you for coming on the show. We feel very lucky and very glad to have you. Thanks for coming.
Oh, Knight, who's talking to you?
Sorry.
Right, Khalif?
Are you here, DJ? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I thought you said Khalif. I was like,
Oh, sorry. You know what?
Look,
Look. First of all, let me just establish something. No one's paying me to do this. You get what you pay for. You get what you pay for. I told you this would not be a professional show. I told you it would be a mess. We've got revolving door of guests coming in and out. If I accidentally get someone's name, please forgive me. This is, like I said, this is not in any way a professional operation at the best of times. And this is and this goes doubly so for this special charity stream that we only conceived about 24 hours ago. This is very much a let's do the show right here kind of vibe with all of the glorious mistakes that go along with it. DJ, tell me about this outfit that you've chosen to wear on the show today.
I'm a fan of space and science fiction. It's kind of my favorite thing. Is one of the focal points of my stream is space and sci-fi. So I feel like if I'm going to be in an Animal Crossing interview, the least I could do is properly showcase my love for the space.
I love it. And let me also compliment you on the incredible resonant tenor of your voice. I don't know if that's just your natural speaking voice, or I know you've got a very impressive audio. So are you doing anything over there to kind of beef up your voice, or is that just your natural speaking voice?
This is the natural mic. I've done nothing to it. Now I can do some things to beef it up if you want to. Maybe it's too bassy.
Maybe I need to sound like I'm a 13-year-old and
Oh,
change it up
wow.
a little bit. So
I've got the helium. Got the helium vibe.
Wow.
I'm kind of
this
digging that.
helium is delicious.
Like we can make it happen on the fly if need be.
I love it. You've got a very cool setup, and I want to talk to you about that more
Yay.
in just a moment. First of all, I do want to. So you have a very, very adorable Animal Crossing character, but I want to give people a quick look at the real you. This is the real Deejay Knight, and I commented on this to you last night. If anyone ever thinks they have an idea of what a nerd looks or should look like, look at this guy. Deejay Knight is like the most badass nerd I've ever seen in my life.
Well, thank you very much.
This is a very impressive
Have
photograph
you considered
of you
professional face slapping?
Yeah,
no,
you should get in on that scene.
You have the
with
arms
the size
for
of
it.
that dude's arms who was there, like, I don't know about it. His arms are still triple the size of mine, and I don't think that would work out very well for either of our faces.
DJ.
And also, that dude was punched. Like, we could talk about this all day. That dude was literally punched. They said, like, no, like, let's slap real quick. Like, he was like, Hawaiian punch. And he just punched that dude's whole soul out. It's supposed to be slapping. I think he didn't understand the rules. Somebody didn't properly fill him in.
Yeah, well,
Luckily, it wasn't Olympic.
it's it started as a kind of underground thing, but they are starting to codify it more, and there's more like now there's a very specific kind of strike zone, like a bullseye where you're supposed to slap, and if you're high, if you get them in the eye or the ear or the neck, you could that constitutes a foul. 2 fouls, you're disqualified. So they are trying to make it more kind of legitimize it as a sport by establishing, like, you know how you have like a strike zone in baseball? There's a strike zone on your face that you have to hit, and if you miss hit that, then you're in big trouble.
I'm trying to
So
imagine the strike
it's
zone
about
on
it's
the
not
face.
just about power, it's about precision, it's about accuracy.
I mean, if you're going to be slapping somebody with the power of 10 people or trying to slap their soul out, you should probably have a specific spot that you want to do it. You're trying to deafen a dude. Let me slap you right on the eardrum so you can't hear anymore. That's disrespectful to everybody involved.
Yeah, and what they do is they actually put like chalk powder on your hand, so it leaves a print, so they can actually see where it made contact.
Wow.
And they have slow motion. They have all kinds of technology they're able to employ. It's very
Is that
impressive.
where the slapping the people with chalk comes from? I thought that was just to be dramatic, like dramatic effect. Like
I mean, I
poof.
think it has multiple purposes. You know, it allows for a nice clean contact. It also allows you to see where contact was made, and it does. And you do get like a little puff of dust, so it looks very dramatic when you do that.
It does.
be a
I feel like
slapping
that's got to
referee.
look amazing in slow mo to see somebody get
yeah.
slapped. Like that puts a whole new meaning to slap the dust off of them. Like that's wow.
The slapping governing body. I want to know who those people are. Who made
Well,
the
you know,
rules.
I'm telling you, it's coming to America. Dana White is bringing it over here. It's gonna get. I've seen the American slapping though, and it ain't this. It's not the same. If you want the real stuff, you got to watch the Russians do it because they do it like no one else.
Russian judge giving 10s everywhere, just like
Yeah.
smack 10.
This
Yeah,
just
I mean
reminds
that's the
me
thing. I mean, you know, like any sport, you know, there's going to be issues with performance enhancing, you know, doping and corruption. But you know, it's very pure. You know, like you can't really fake that shit. Like if you're getting slapped hard in the face, you're getting slapped hard in the face.
I think all the performance enhancement drugs were all in that dude's arms.
I don't know what he did on
Popeye?
Earth to get arms to be the size of babies, but that was very weird. I feel like if one of his arms started crying, nobody would be surprised at all.
That's you know, people who saw that guy. I think like I think somebody told me like that's like a saline solution or something that gets injected into your arms to like bulge them up like that. But it doesn't look good or safe or healthy or anything. Like, why would you do that to yourself?
There's
It
some
looks like
great
a tumor
Netflix
or
ones.
something. It just does not look healthy. And also, generally, if you're going to make a muscle bigger, there's a balance between the muscle and the counter muscle that it uses, and that kind of connects to like maybe the shoulders. So if his shoulders weren't absolutely bonkers, and he would need to not have a neck to have arms that massive. His shoulders need to be entirely muscle for that to be.
I mean,
useful.
look, not to go too far down this rabbit hole, but you have touched on my favorite subject, so I do want to. So it's not just about being able to deliver a slap with power and accuracy. It's also about being able to. You got to be able to take it as well. Like, you know, unless you're going first and you can put the guy down in one slap. You better hope you can take a slap, and that's why Vasily Kamatsky is the master of slapping, because like it's like slapping a stone statue. He doesn't even move. Like the only thing you're going to damage is your hand slapping that guy. Like he doesn't even
just
like
imagine
doesn't even
him
flinch.
in conversations though. Like I can imagine him in conversations with like amazing people. Like, hey, what do you do? Oh, I design airplanes and make sure that people can go from one place to another fantastically and safely. What do you do? Oh, I built this new thing that people can implant into a heart, and then people can live like 30 years longer. What do you do? I slap the out of people. It's the best. It's like that just doesn't equate in my mind how that.
But
could
you
be a
are
proper
providing people with entertainment, which is valid, especially in this day and age. And how is it any less legitimate than boxing, where people are whacking each other in the face?
But see, I feel like if you were in a boxing match with somebody, and like you told your mom to watch the boxing match, she'd be like, okay, yeah, your form was fantastic. You've got good moves. Like, you wouldn't want to fight Mike Tyson, of course, but like you could do it. But like, I don't know how any of my parental units would feel about watching me get slapped. Even if it's like, even if I powerfully slap somebody, right? You can slap the taste out of someone's mouth. But like, I would go to my dad and like, oh, I had a match this weekend. He was like, you got slapped, huh? Like, yeah, he's like, all right, I don't want to know anything else about this. Unless you won, I don't want to hear about you talking about getting slapped. Like, you have to be doing the powerful slapping. Don't come to me with.
May I just say, and this is entirely as a compliment to all our guests, both past earlier on the show and currently right now. Adam, we're halfway through the broadcast, 3 hours in, and this show so far is everything that I wanted it to be. It's hitting all the right notes.
I'm just really curious. Like, what does your demo reel look like if you do that work? It's just.
It looks.
I mean, I imagine it's slapping people in the face really
I'm
hard.
trying to remember the movie that had the baby powder pimp, and I feel like that was like,
Yes,
you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, it
Yep,
would have to be that,
absolutely.
like you just put your hand out, like hit me real quick, like, and that would have to be your intro. You just put your hand out. This is me. This is how I slap. Hit me real quick. Somebody put some baby powder on it, and then just like. It would have to be to like an amazing beat. So like you'd have to have a really cool like music, like just and then just slapping people. Anytime the beat drops, like you got to be able to slap at the top of the beat. So imagining the amount of slaps in that video. If you don't have a lot of slaps, like you have to be in at least 50 matches to get enough slaps that are quality slaps. Like you don't want to put your foul slaps in. You don't want to put those I hit him in the temple and like tap the eye a little bit slaps. You got to get like the full whole palm, all fingers to the side of the face in the proper way. They got to be
Quite a
red after.
breakdown.
You got to have the slow-mo versions of some of those so that when the bass goes,
Well,
you just have the slap and then just the dust goes.
You've teed this up perfectly for me, DJ, because the clip that I showed earlier was actually from like the early days of Russian slapping when it was still kind of underground. It's since gone big time pro. It's like the WWE over there right now. There's a show in Russia called Stone Faces, and it's the big. It's like the X Factor of slapping. And in the most recent season, their production values went over the top. Like it's like a Michael Bay movie. The most recent season is actually set inside like a fictional kind of high security Russian maximum security gulag, and they've got like story sequences and narrative and characters you can follow. And also because of COVID, they now put hand sanitizer on their hands before they slap each other. So it's
At least you're disinfecting.
Yes. Yes, and you're slapping the coronavirus right out of each other.
Fair.
You can actually see the coronavirus leave your body. It's like you're getting slapped so hard.
Oh my god!
I mean, it can't be any worse than gargling bleach. Maybe slap each other in the face. See if that works. I'm actually going to go to so I'm going to show you a clip from the recent season premiere of the new season of Stone Faces, where they have taken the production levels to the next level. All right, so look, you get the idea.
Wait a minute.
You get the idea.
How did you pull that off?
I like how they're doing this in a fake jail. Like what?
It's for the drama. And there's a
do-over
storyline.
stuff,
I'm not gonna
freeze
show you like the whole clip, but there's like whole like cinematic story sequences that they shoot like between the bouts that like give you the kind of the narrative. Like there's characters you could root for. There's like heels and I'm telling you, you got to get into this.
I have
You're
questions
missing
about
out.
the
Music,
costume.
because now I'm gonna randomly just talk about slapping in the middle of streams from here on out.
I mean, I'm telling you, it's catching on. It's catching on.
I feel like that king shouldn't
so
have
many
been
things
in
have gone
this situation
viral out of this show. The egg sitter, that became a big deal. Chicken and a biscuit. Oh, by the way, I've got to show you these clips. So, DJ, do you know what the egg sitter is?
I believe I found out what the egg sitter was recently, and it is still might disturbing.
I'm going to show you a little clip here. So the eggs, for those, it's eggsitter.com for anyone who wants to check it out. It's a super comfy kind of gel honeycomb science cushion for a chair. And it's called the egg sitter because it's so soft that when you can actually sit on a raw egg and not break it. And people didn't believe me when I ordered one, and I did it live on stream. Kate was like, it's not going to work. She didn't believe me. I then sent her one, and she recently sat on an egg live on stream. I'm going to take you over now to Kate Stark's stream. Here is Kate Stark sitting on an egg.
What a weirdo.
I love you, Kate.
Oh my goodness.
This is so good.
I like the apprehension. It's like, should I sit?
Because she didn't believe it. She wasn't a believer.
It was concerning. Like, should I do this?
Yeah, I love the face.
I'm like, maybe I can do
little
this.
wiggle. Yeah.
And look, there you go, legit.
And how did we do? How did we do? Hey.
All right, so look, I've also got a little video here of our producer, Adam Nickerson, sitting on an egg that I'm going to share with you. Here we go. Here's Adam.
I shared this with you privately.
doing the egg sitter challenge.
My big ass is just gonna have a scrambled seat.
Can't even do it. Can't even do it.
Oh, that was fearless. That was a confident sit.
That
It was
very, very
confident, but
confident.
And there's Adam breaking the egg to demonstrate that there was no tomfoolery.
Now the egg
So-
back at the end is interesting.
Oh yeah. Proving it's real.
I'm actually surprised that it didn't break for Kate and Adam because I kind of feel it's a bit like the kind of the leap of faith in Indiana Jones. Like if you believe the egg won't break, it won't break. But if you have any doubt, if you don't have faith, the egg's gonna break. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's my
I'm
opinion.
showing you sitting on an egg.
Because Kate said to me all along when she had me sit on the egg, "Oh no, I always believed you, Gary. I always had faith in you." But if you look at the shock on her face when I did it, it's clear that she didn't believe me because she was genuinely shocked that the egg didn't break.
I love that this is a thing that you all did. Like you all bought into this thing.
We
and
sent those egg sitters
to.
to. Well, Adam found one on like a senior citizen medical supply store. And the other
You
one,
mean there's an old person right
the
now
other
who
one,
can't sit on
the
the
other
egg
one
because Adam
we
took
sent to
Impressive.
Kate. We got one and sent it to Kate. Now, Kate, as much as she's been laughing at us and rolling her eyes and not believing it, she sat on that thing and said within 2 minutes, she said, "Oh my God, this thing has basically cured my sciatica. Like her back doesn't hurt anymore."
Oh wow!
I'm telling you, this thing's a miracle product. You got to get an egg.
We
right.
didn't get the premium fart filter cover though.
No, I didn't get that. But it's machine washable.
Wait,
like once it gets too farty, you can
they
just wash
actually
it.
have a fart filter cover.
They will upsell you to like an odor concealing cover. But like the cover is machine washable. Just wash it when it gets too farty.
I love
How about when it's farty at all, not when it gets too farty?
I feel like if you have to describe a thing as in levels of farty, there's already a problem.
I kind of love that Gary has like kept the as seen on TV part of products in.
That's never. I've always been that guy. I've always loved ads. Even though 99.9% of them that I've ever bought have been lemons, I still believe that the next great one is just around the corner. And the egg sitter was. I'm very happy with my egg sitter.
You just buy
I'm very happy
things,
with my
though.
Mr. Lids. I've had those for like 10 years. They transformed my Tupperware experience.
Yeah, but you've bought so many terrible ones. You told
Yeah,
me
I mean, look, the
some
rate of return
gloves
is
for
not good.
peeling Potatoes.
I can't front. I just bought a whole bunch of steaks off of the Home Shopping
But it's
Network,
like
so
I live with the rush. Like every time I order an as seen on, maybe this one. Like I never felt more alive than when I buy an as seen on TV product. I'm like, maybe this is the next game changer.
Wow.
MC. Okay, sorry, that's wrong. MC Honeybee, AT $17. Shelby Rinaldi $20. Nabeshin 186 $20. Anonymous $20. Thank you so much. $7,186.56. Almost 3/4 of the way to the $10,000 goal.
Nice.
DJ, thank you for your $100 donation as well. By the way, it's very generous of you. We're getting there, and I think we are going to hit that $10,000 goal. And when we hit it, we will be unveiling that early premiere of Danny's Diary, starring Danny Trejo. DJ,
I'm very excited about that because watching what I saw of it earlier was just glorious.
Oh,
because
wait
I would
until
have
you
never
see
thought
all of it.
to imagine Danny Trejo in Animal Crossing, let alone having the boombox on the beach. That's just, it's glorious is what it is.
Wait until you see the whole thing. I'm telling you right now, when we get to $10,000. Oh, and by the way, a little preview of what's coming up later in the show. We'll probably go till around 4 o'clock today. At around 4 o'clock, Raquel Lilly, the incredibly talented singer-songwriter Raquel Lilly, who has a great Twitch channel, she was actually our first musical guest on the show back in episode 4, which feels like a whole other lifetime. She is coming on the show at 4 o'clock today, 7 o'clock Eastern, and she is going to perform an amazing, amazing cover version that she has recorded of the Sam Cooke classic, A Change Is Going to Come. And that is going to, I promise you, that is going to blow everyone away when you hear it. And she's going to be doing that later on the show. So there's a little preview of what's coming up later. DJ, you've been sitting on this couch for a good long time now, and we haven't really interviewed you at all.
I feel like it's not about the interview. We got off onto a fantastic tangent.
I love these tangents.
To the joys of slapping people in the face and watching people slapping professionally. So like in my mind this whole time, I've just been waiting for an infomercial for it. I can just hear it now. Ladies and gentlemen, do you like watching people get slapped right around their face? Now you do. Get prepared for Slap Fights 2020, coming to the United States, courtesy of Dana White. I can imagine
you would be an incredible.
happening.
You'd be an incredible hype man for this, DJ. This could be your new calling, like professional slapping hype man.
I feel like I would be a failure at doing this because I laugh way too much, and I could not watch a match without giggling at people slapping the taste out of each other's mouths, especially like with the dude with the baby arms. Like, how do you come to this event with a straight face? Like, we know that's fake. That actually is going to lower your arms aerodynamics, which makes it harder for you to properly slap. So like, you can't even really slap at this point. Like your slaps are jokes. And it's mind boggling to me that is a thing that he would do. Like, you make your slaps horrid. If you're going to make anything bigger, make your wrist bigger. So that way you have more weight at the end of the slap. So that way, when you slap, you connect.
Now, DJ, you to be fair, you are talking a big fight for someone who hasn't actually put themselves in the arena.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna get into an arena where you just slap each other back and forth.
Well, okay, but go with me here. Let me paint a narrative picture for you. Let's say society collapses, and it's rebuilt in a post-apocalyptic Mad Max kind of scenario, and slapping is like the new gladiatorial combat, and you. Just again, go with me here. Much like Maximus in Gladiator, are rounded up and forced to compete in gladiatorial slap contests. So like, it's not a choice anymore. Like, you've got to compete for your own survival. in front of like the new emperor of like the United States of the
So you're
rebuilt
trying to
America
Book
or
of
whatever.
Eli slap fights is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah. So Book of Eli slap fights. What kind of chance do you feel? I mean, again, I don't want to make too many assumptions because you're built like a brick wall. You're a big guy, but like, do you feel like you'd be better put like let's say you and me. Like if you and me walked out in the post-apocalyptic slap fighting arena, you would see me coming out like you're not gonna. I would see you like I'm dead basically. I'm done. Right? I feel like you would. I feel like you would do well. Like you don't want to hurt anyone, but if you have to, you're gonna slap the shit out of someone.
Basically, if we were to put it into a sentence, you put it into the best sentence possible. I would slap the ever-loving out of somebody with a straight face. Especially if it's the only way that I could survive. No, somebody's getting a face slap.
If you're slapping for your own survival, you're not gonna leave anything on the table.
That's a good reason to do it.
Yeah,
like
you know what? Someone
it's either slap people or not. Somebody's getting slapped. I'm sorry.
Paul Jahan
Like-
just made a comment in the chat that is very much something I've been pitching, which is basically a sequel to Over the Top, but it's face slapping.
Yes,
Jason,
you have
like,
to turn your
get
hat
the
backwards
rock- get the
before you
rock
smack
in
the mess out
that.
of somebody.
Get the Rock in that. Like this time he's slapping for his family. Like that's the movie I want to see.
Last time he
Slapping for
slept for
freedom.
the money. This time he slept for his family.
Oh, I can see the movie already.
You got to do it.
Yeah.
You got to do it now.
See
DJ.
the
You gotta
movie
do it.
already. And what I mean, I guess you call the movie
For
Slap
theater
Fight. I don't know
near
what you call
the
it.
Extra slaps.
Say again.
Oh, do you call the movie Slap Fight? I'm trying to figure out what the title of the movie is.
Oh man, the great
Slap
I feel
Apocalypse.
like-
Slap
I was just
Apocalypse.
laughing way too hard earlier at Epic Lala Girl posting in the chat that song slaps, and that put a whole new meaning to this slaps in my mind. Like that song does slap.
I want to do the Mad Max version. I want to call it Slapocalypse.
Ooh.
Slapocalypse?
Slapocalypse. Rihanna, don't tell me that you
So then, like,
you
we'd
wouldn't be
have to
lining
have-
up to see this when the movie theaters reopen. You would be in line to see this movie first day, Friday night, Thursday night, 9 o'clock preview show,
I feel like this needs to be a comedy, and you should write it. Because
like a
I
Will
would love
Ferrell
to
kind
go
of
to
thing,
the
or like
theaters to see it.
maybe it's something for like Kevin James.
Yeah, and then have the actor that played Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat.
Oh
Deejay
yeah.
Knight, this other guy, slap.
Like that'd be great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I want the sports science of all of this. I want there to be the ESPN 30 for 30 of slaps.
I mean, there is.
'cause
I
then you
mean,
get
again,
really-
there is science. If you study some of the best slappers, like the Vasily Kamatskis and those guys, aren't just the biggest guys, but they also have the correct stance. And like DJ touched on earlier, there's a correct stance, there's a correct posture. You got to pivot. It's all in the hips. You know, you want to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the ability to have like a scientist go in and be like, the slap hypotenuse is this amount of degrees. to
Slap
make sure
on a
this-
noose.
The slap hypotenuse. Ooh, that's perfect. The
the slap hot news.
TM, the slap hypotenuse.
God, the
Real good.
I'm trying to remember which sports show the intro was. I thought it was Sports Center,
Uh-huh.
but now
That's
I have to
SportsCenter.
find it.
that's
So
just
it's
like the
worth
ESPN breaking news alert, isn't it? When that happens.
Yeah.
Da 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 da. Yeah.
I want them to do the old 90s NBA, the John Tesh. You just got slapped.
I love the
Coming
fact
up
that that
today
song
in
is
Slap
called.
Fight 2000. We've got one corner full of people who've been slapping to save their own lives forever. In the other, we've got someone who's new to the arena, new to the slaps. But when you see people's taste removed immediately from their mouths from this slapper, you'll be in love. Prepare for tonight's Friday night slap fights. Let's
I'm
get
loving
it
it.
on.
I'm telling you, I'm getting more and more sold on this concept by the
perfect.
minute.
Oh my god! Imagine a rom com.
I would love
Oh,
it.
wow.
I legitimately would love it.
Slap of love?
The
Slap of love. Slap of love.
Sandra Bullock just slapping the hell out of people.
Wow.
The taste has been taken.
Who's
out
on
of
their
your
way?
mouth.
Let's go over to our live Dodo Airlines airport cam and see who is going to be joining us next on the show. I'm very excited to see who's coming in. It's Cypher.
Hey.
Yo.
Cypher from the island of Saharan is going to be joining us on the show very shortly. Very excited to have her on the show. Another wonderful guest that I'm very excited to talk to. But DJ first, let's get this done with here. Let's get the travel montage here.
Takes a while.
I am interested to see what outfit Cypher has chosen to wear on the show. I know our guests often choose to go very fashion forward, very Met Gala sometimes on the show. I do encourage them to express their personality when they come on the show. Let's see what Cypher has chosen to wear. Oh, it's actually very adorable. Look at that.
Fancy.
That is lovely.
Very fancy.
It's
That's
a beautiful kind of summer dress and
Yes.
and kick and
summer hat as well.
kicks.
Cute frames. I love this.
Straw, nice
Dig
and
it.
cool.
Yeah, I'm liking
Very
that.
nice.
I'm liking
Very
that.
nice.
DJ,
Yes.
you have had it's someone else. Oh my god, I've got another one. The flight line is
Plane.
packed right now. We're doing back-to-back flights. My guess is this is Brandon.
I think so. I think they just finished
It's
D&D.
about to be a party.
Yeah, because
Nice.
I know those guys were kind of they both finished. They were doing a D&D stream and then coming to join us. DJ,
Yes.
you've had a very interesting life. We talked about this a little bit last night. Oh, here we go again. Who's it going to be?
The party is
Okay,
here.
I'm telling you, like I said, this is not like a regular show. We usually front load everyone onto the island before we go live, so you don't see the air travel. But we've got so many people coming and going that we're just going to do it a little bit differently today.
If people play Animal Crossing, they know this struggle.
They're used to this.
We
They're
understand.
used to this. And it
If
never.
show, they're used to the struggle as well.
Yeah, seriously. Here comes I am Brandon from Dick Isle, apparently. Okay, all right, Dick Isle. Why not? Why not?
Love it. I love
Friendly
you,
people.
He's
Brandon.
starting the
Lovely people.
jokes already.
I love you, Brandon.
Well played.
Well played.
Why not? Let's see. Brandon will be starting his descent. In just a moment.
Over there.
Don't forget to type !donate into the chat if you want to get us closer to that $10,000 goal and the debut of the first premiere episode of Danny
Have we
Danny
caught up on
Trejo's
the
diary.
thanks for donations?
Yeah, let me just check those real quick. Let's see who the latest ones are. Just refresh it, make sure I've got the nearest ones. Shelby Rinaldi, $20. Nabeshin 186, $20. Anonymous, $20. Thank you so much. Getting closer. I missed that. What was he wearing? Did he look cool?
Oh, yeah.
Very
Beautiful.
Okay, all right. We'll bring him on.
Shining.
Cypher and Brandon will be our next two guests on the show immediately after we do DJ's interview, which I promise you sooner or later we will actually get. We've been waylaid by slapping, by airlines. Okay. DJ Knight,
Yeah.
you have led
Hello.
a very interesting life. You are a former football player. You're a former. You're a veteran. You served in the U.S. Air Force. What rank did you hold in the U.S. Air Force?
I left the Air Force at a senior airman.
A senior airman. And how far up? How far up the food chain is that?
Not very far up the food chain at all.
And you said that you were in the you were basically the kind of the U.S. Air Force equivalent of an MP. Is that right? You were basically an Air Force cop. Is that correct?
Yes, but it was mixed with law enforcement work and also basically security guard work. So they would have me sit behind or in front of airplanes to make sure nobody tried to take the airplane.
Is that a concern that someone's going to steal an airplane? Like,
No.
can you leave the keys in the ignition? I didn't think this was a real concern.
We were very confused about it at all times because to even get to the flight line, right? Like you have to go through the base security, which that's one level of security. Then to get to the flight line, there's a gate and then there's a guard there who also is, security. So like there's multiple levels of security that they would have to break to get to us on the flight line. So we were just very confused and tired most of the time because at the time there were 12-hour shifts. So from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., you'd be sitting behind a plane. Like don't bring any books that aren't like workbooks and like stay awake in the middle of the night when nobody's coming to take your plane.
Did it just feel like a massive waste of your time?
Very much so.
DJ, so U.S. Air Force veteran, then turned game developer. You mentioned that you studied game design at Full Sail University and actually ended up as part of the Madden development team. Tell me about that.
Well, the cool part about it was I actually didn't take game design at Full Sail. I took digital arts and design.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And digital media. No, you're fine. But taking those courses allowed me the skill set that I needed to work at EA Tiburon. So I was an interface designer on Madden. It was kind of awesome because I've always been a fan of the Madden games. I don't stream them because reasons, but it's always a great experience to be involved with something related to code, right? I'm just a huge fan of STEM. So after teaching at Full Sail, after I graduated, I taught HTML, CSS, PHP, and ActionScript back when Flash was actually a thing. And then I left Full Sail to go work at EA. And then I came back to Full Sail and spent 4 years teaching in the game design degree program because I had game industry experience. So in that position, it was I basically was working for most of the time was in the final project. So in the game design degree, they take engines that already exist. We started initially with the Unreal Development Kit, and then we switched over to the Unity engine around probably 2014. They switched to Unity, and I was helping teach people C#. But it was basically the end of the program. You've learned all the things you need to know. You have 3 months, make a game. So my job was basically producer. So I would sit down with the teams. I would play their games that they've developed. They pushed up through Perforce onto the servers that we had set up. I'd download the games, play them, give them feedback, like write down the feedback. Of course, play it beforehand, but then have them play it while we're all together, so I can point out specifically the things that they need to work on for the next week's submission. So that was pretty awesome to be involved with.
As someone who has taught this stuff and worked inside development teams and who now plays games and streams them, do you find that you analyze games and look at them in a more kind of professionally acute way? Like, I work in the film business, and when I watch movies, I feel like I always see kind of the process. I can like look at the movie but divine the process that got them there because I know how the sausage is made. Is that also true of you and video games?
It is very true of me in video games, and in regards to me being a full-time streamer, for me that actually is perfect because it helps me to enlighten a lot of people about how video games are developed. Like, a lot of people just think like, oh man, it shouldn't take that much time to add in. When you press a button, they like do a twirl and then wreck every enemy around them. And it's like, there are so many different people involved that focus on so many different disciplines that the thing that you think is going to be easy to do is actually going to be super hard, and it's going to take weeks, if not months of work, weeks, if not multiple people to do that. So I'm a big fan of knowing how the sausage is made, because it actually makes me explain one of my favorite games to people who have never heard of it. It's called Star Citizen, and it is like the biggest crowdfunded game as of right now. I think
my old buddy Chris Roberts.
Oh, you know Chris? Awesome.
I was editing PC gaming magazines in the 90s during the Wing Commander heyday. So yeah, Chris and I go way back.
Yeah. So
okay. So you're big into the world of Star Citizen?
Of course.
Okay. So give me.
It is literally amongst my favorite things.
Give me the dummy's guide to it, because looking from the outside in as a casual observer, all I know is this game made a ton of money crowdfunding. It's been in development forever. Like, is there a 1.0 version of the game yet, or is it a game that's just going to be in like beta forever? What is going on with Star Citizen?
I feel like it's not going to be in beta forever. There's a Cliff Notes version of Star Citizen that explains it as they raised $50 million back in 2012 because they wanted to make an amazing single player experience. They didn't expect to raise that much. When they asked the community, what would you like? The community said an MMO. So they decided to make an MMO, but while simultaneously making that MMO, they're also making a single player experience. So they're making an MMO, another game at the same time in a branch of the CryEngine, which is a big deal for, like, if you've ever played Far Cry or Crysis. There's ridiculous amounts of games in the CryEngine, but one of the most common parts is that their games are gorgeous. So they started hefty development in 2017. Because from 2012 to 2017, while they were working on the project, they were still kind of building the team. So they got to about 500 employees across Cloud Imperium Games in 5 different studios around the world. There's SIG LA, there's SIG Austin, there's SIG Frankfurt, there's SIG UK, and then there's another one that I've missed somewhere because they're doing a lot of amazing things. But they've also been building the tools that they've been building to procedurally generate so many things that have never existed. So right now, the Far Cry games have 32-bit location, which means you can generally have about maybe 20 square kilometers of gameplay space. And I feel like it's even a little bit less than that. They actually spent the time to make it to 64-bit location pointing out, which is an order of magnitude larger. So there are moons in Star Citizen that can fit the entirety of probably the entire Far Cry series in one crater.
So it's obviously an incredibly ambitious game. Is it ready for prime time though? If I were to dive in right now, would I be frustrated by all the parts of it that are still kind of under construction?
A lot of people are still going to be frustrated with Star Citizen because it's still alpha. Because they're developing 2 games at once, they're basically trying to get things ready in Squadron 42, which is a single player game, before they released them into Star Citizen. At least that's my educated guess of it. And they've kind of hinted at that in a couple of their Inside Star Citizen videos that they put out generally weekly. It's not done yet. It's alpha. They are adding a lot more game mechanics. Like there's a bunch of game mechanics that aren't fully in the game yet, like farming. There's going to be farming. There's going to be hacking. Some base implementation of hacking exists. They are currently fleshing out bounty hunting, because should be ways to detain somebody without actually like killing them in the game. So they're looking for, they actually discussed electric weapons in one of the previous videos that just recently came out in the past few weeks. And that's going to allow them to basically knock people out instead of shoot them with bullets, which you can put them in bounty bays and then turn in their bounties. But that actually adds in a ridiculous amount of depth, because with bounties, they currently have in mining, both on foot and in your ship. And it's just those two mechanics alone, they could genuinely release a game. But there's so much more to it that they're trying to add that's not there yet, but is on the way. And once Squadron 42, the single player game they're developing, gets released into at least beta, to where they can start fixing bugs instead of actually adding content, that's going to be a situation where I feel like they're going to take over a good amount of that dev team over to Star Citizen, and we're going to see even more tremendous growth.
Khalif, by the way, I just got a text here from Dodo Airlines. Your flight is currently arriving. I know you need to leave.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us on the show. You've been a wonderful guest. Yes, blow off them party poppers. Did you also get a gift?
I did get a gift. I absolutely did.
Yeah, please enjoy your shitty raccoon. We give that to everyone on the show.
Thank you for my shitty raccoon again, Gary. You know I love you, and this is fantastic, and I'm so happy that you had me on, and all the wonderful folks you're gonna have on. And you raised almost $7,300.
$7,276.56. AL Tribesman $50. Amy Gills $20. Matt Allen $20. Anonymous $20. Thank you so much. Please, let's get there. Let's hit that goal. Like we've got about 2 hours and 20 minutes left. I really want to hit that goal. If I have to keep going until we hit it, I'm gonna hit it. We're about 3/4 of the way there. Let's get there. ! Donate. Hit that. Drop it into the chat. I'll give you a shout out for any donation that you make. Let's get there. Let's get there. Khalif, thanks so much for coming on the show. You've been a wonderful guest.
Spin, Pat.
I don't want you to miss your flight. What is going on? Oh, that's right. We have to spin. Sorry, I forgot.
I didn't know about the
spinning. I got confused by the
costumes.
Want to
be left out.
I got confused by the costumes. Yeah, there. Everyone
it's more
has
of a mosh pit. This one.
Spin for everyone. There we go. Khalif, do you have a bad joke for us?
I do have a bad joke for all of you.
Let's hear it.
Because I think you deserve it.
Okay, I'm ready.
So when does a joke become a dad joke?
I mean, are you a dad?
Crap. No.
I mean, I don't know if you specifically have to be a dad to tell a dad joke.
You're stepping on.
Yeah, exactly.
You're stepping on his bit. I think that's his.
Oh,
that is the joke.
Oh. Wait, what? Did I miss? What did I miss?
No, I didn't get it.
What happened?
Gary, answer his question with a question, Gary.
When? Okay. Oh, all right. When does? No. Oh, that was actually the setup.
That was the setup, Gary.
All right. Let's do over.
Everyone.
All right. Let's do it over.
Places.
All right. I'm listening.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Here's the joke. When does it?
Oh my God.
When does a joke become a dad joke?
I don't know, Khalif. When does a joke become a dad joke?
When it becomes apparent.
All right. Okay. I'm giving it to you.
Massive love to all of you. Really quick, I have a quick thing to plug too before I dip.
Oh yeah, plug it.
This Thursday, we're going to be on the front page of Twitch again.
What?
And yes, and we're going to have exclusive gameplay from Disintegration.
What is that?
Doing that. It's a wonderful game from V1 Interactive that they put out. It's like kind of a MOBA, but not really, but a top-down kind of shooter, but not really. It's a lot of different things. We're going to have an exclusive interview with the game director, Marcus Letho, as well.
Look at you getting all the front page love and big exclusives.
I'm saying, like you said, if you're not moving, if you're not standing still,
not making moves, you're standing still.
That thing, yeah. That move.
Adam, that's really freaking me out, this thing that you're doing in front of the camera. I can't say I'm a fan of it.
It's so good.
It could be worse.
I love you all. Thank you again for having me. Massive love to y'all.
Thanks, Khalif. Thanks so much for coming. Oh, that's the wrong one.
His face is just right there. He's just.
I
Like,
know.
"Rrr." It's
Khalif Adams, everybody. Thank you so much.
okay. Nice chat.
I didn't want to let Adam be the only person that was surprised.
And Adam, I've told you before that particular reaction that you're doing right now, that has been officially banned. So
It looks like it breaks the Twitch TOS.
This is the smirk.
I don't care what they call it. It's creepy.
This is the pervert.
I don't like it. Get rid. I'm not going to allow you to do it on the show. I'm not having it.
Don't do it right now. Stop it.
Oh my god, that's so good. It's so good. It's so
DJ,
good.
Yes.
DJ, I like you a lot, and you're much bigger than me. But you're talking to the guy who told T-Pain to step off. So I have no hesitation in asking you equally as politely to vacate the host chair.
Sometimes you gotta tell T-Pain to chill out.
That T-Pain episode, man. I don't know if we're ever going to top that. I really don't. If we can ever top that episode. And there goes Khalif. Safe travels back to the mainland.
Be well, everyone. Have fun.
Lovely to have him. Thank you, Khalif. Thanks for coming.
To one another.
Don't slap anybody.
All right. Well, as
But slap all the people.
okay, we're gonna bring Brandon and Cypher on in just a moment. But I do want to first of all, because I feel like DJ's appearance here has been derailed again in the most delightful way, but derailed nonetheless. Let's bring this up to date. DJ, how'd you get into streaming? How'd you become a streamer?
My starting streaming was actually a challenge from a friend of mine, but mostly to focus on being able to have reference for students for video games when they wanted to make a thing. I wanted to be able to pull up some sort of video and say, hey, look, this right here. Because with a lot of students, it makes it a whole lot easier to design a thing or to make a thing when they've seen that it's already been done. So even if they wanted to do something that was slightly different, I wanted to show them that specific thing so that they could see, like, look, somebody's done something similar, which means you can do it. So get it done. So if somebody said, I want to walk on walls, I would say, okay, play Spider-Man, the tutorial where they start showing you where to link onto a wall, and you can see how they got it done in a way. So that's where I started streaming.
But you must have kind of got the streaming bug because you've continued to do it, and now it's the thing that you do.
It is. I got that bug within 3 months after I realized that on my own stream, the likelihood of me not cursing is close to nil. I didn't want to show it to students at that point, but I kept doing it because right when Neverwinter came out on the Xbox One, I was streaming it because my PC was butt cheeks. I was streaming Neverwinter, and somebody was in the game and said, wait, that's me. And I was like, what are you talking about? And I'm looking around my apartment like, this dude not like in my window or anything, is he? And he said, no, you just passed me in the game. So I walked back, saw him, like we emoted at each other. And then he was a regular in the stream for a good amount of time after that. But the next day I got a message from him that said, I was in a very bad place yesterday. And coming in your stream, seeing your positivity, your happiness, seeing how excited everyone was to be there, that made it a much easier situation for me. I got out of the bad thoughts I was having, and the day turned around. And for me, that's one of the things that I want to put into the world is positivity, joy. And if I can lift up somebody's spirits, I'm happy to do so. That's part of the reason why I have so many different voice effects, is because it kind of shocks out of the normal, and it does something different, and not everybody does it. So for me, that is part of the joy. And if I can give somebody some joy, then I'm going to do it. So that made it easier for me to continue streaming. It was great.
Yeah, the number one thing that I've enjoyed about doing this dumb talk show is a number of people that have sent us messages saying, thank you for putting a smile on my face when I could really use one. That to me is the number one reason to do this kind of stuff, is knowing that people out there are really, if you can brighten someone's day for even like 5 minutes, that to me makes it all worth it.
Exactly. And the joy of it is by continuing to do it, I've been able to kind of champion other causes. I've been a big proponent of charity for years. So some of the charities we work with are stackup.org, which is a veteran-focused charity.
I love Stack Up. That's kind of my pet charity. I do a lot of stuff with them.
Stack Up is amazing. Steve Machuca, the person who runs it, I've known him for over a decade, just like I've known Khalif for stupid long time. Then Extra Life, I am a huge proponent of. St. Jude I've worked with as well. And most recently, due to the state of the world, this past week, we've spent time raising funds for the Minnesota Freedom Fund and the Chicago Community Bond Fund. So for the Minnesota Freedom Fund, I set goals initially for $2,020 for each of them because it's 2020. We shouldn't be dealing with this madness. And I had an errand to run, so I started the goal. I tweeted about it, and then by the time I got back to the computer and started the stream, people had raised over $1,000 already. So I knew I was going to have to change the goal, and then we kind of boosted it up slightly multiple times. So we boosted it to eventually $10,000, and we raised $10,000 for the Minnesota Freedom Fund. Then we switched over to the Chicago Community Bond Fund because I'm from Chicago. So for me, that's home. And if I'm going to help somewhere, if I can't help the county in which I grew up, because that's where Chicago Community Bond Fund supports Cook County, and I was born and raised in Cook County. So for me, I had to do it. And we've already raised over $7,750 for them in the past 3 days. So being able to provide joy to people and then being able to do things for causes that are important to me and have people, once they hear my explanation or understand it, they want to help. And then that just makes things amazing. Just like you're raising funds for Color of Change today at $7,601 in what, 4 hours?
Yeah, about that. Since 10 a.m.
Joy. Right. That's the joy of it. When you get to have people care about what you care about and not just care about it and say, oh yeah, that's a thing that I believe in, and actually back it with like, look, I've got this extra money. These people that are dealing with this could use it more than me. Take it. That is one of my favorite things about streaming. That's one of my favorite things about being an entertainer.
I think that, not to get too serious, but I think once you have a platform, you do have a responsibility to figure out like how you can use it well.
Definitely.
And you've obviously been doing that. I'm proud to be doing that in whatever way I can. Speaking of that, you just mentioned it, $7,601 towards $10,000. Miss Envy donated $1. Ruth Allen $10. Spawn on Me $100 as Khalif with the big dollar donation. Amy Gills $1. Hans $19. You can donate even just $1, and that gets us one. Every bit counts. $1 gets us $1 closer to 10,000. I will call you out on the stream, even for just a single dollar donation. Exclamation point donate. We're going to get to Brandon and Cypher and they're waiting patiently in the green room. We're going to get to them in just a couple of minutes. But DJ, I had a couple of clips from you. I wanted people to kind of get a sense of like if they go to your channel, what they will see. And so I'm going to pull up I've got a clip here. We talked about this last night. I know you've been playing some Minecraft Dungeons, as have I. It's a game that I've really, really been enjoying. I'm just going to go over real quick to the other monitor and show just a quick recent clip from your Twitch channel playing Minecraft Dungeons. Let's check it out.
Boom, get washed. Wow. Get white. Ooh, get worked. Everybody got that work. That was fancy. Like this man's energy. Appreciate you, Iris. Thank you much. I get this work. Come on. Hello.
So DJ, you and I were talking about this last night because my kid's a big Minecraft fan, and I got Minecraft Dungeons because I thought it was something we could play together. What a really fun game, and what a clever idea by Microsoft to kind of take the Minecraft brand and all the goodwill surrounding it and basically using it to build what is essentially kind of a really accessible, easy to get into, family friendly Diablo. Like it's genius, kind of.
It is super genius, and it's also the best hustle because interested in the top-down games when Microsoft already has a history of making them is amazing. And then also, if they keep this game going, right, they keep making content for it. When new Microsoft games come out, they just dump new skins in for free for the new games, and then people would actually be curious about it and possibly get into those games. So it's like a gateway drug. It's like a gateway game because we can't really blame drugs. Microsoft can't be dishing drugs to kids. People just be like, screw Microsoft, they're giving drugs to my kids. But it's definitely a situation of it's a gateway game. Get into this easy game, and it's not even easy once you get into the harder levels. But it's an easy way to get people who have been into Minecraft forever into other genres, which is how I feel like all gamers grow when cool things happen in regards to games that they like.
I think that's exactly right. And it's like my daughter loves to play video games. She mostly loves Nintendo games. She doesn't like anything too shooty or too violent, but she loves Nintendo. She loves Pokemon. She loves anything, Mario, Animal Crossing, obviously. But Minecraft, like, she usually would not play a dungeon crawler like this. She wouldn't, if this was Diablo or anything like that, she wouldn't be interested because it was Minecraft. She felt like, because she recognized all the characters, oh, that's a creeper and that's an Enderman. And like, she was kind of like she liked the idea of like kind of tutoring me through the game because she knew the Minecraft universe better than I did. But like watching her play that game, and we were playing like me, her, and my wife were all playing in a party of 3 together. But even just like when you stop at the camp between the levels, and I'm watching my daughter like really taking her time figuring out like what weapons she can deconstruct and what enchantments she wants to put into what weapons. Like she's turning into a proper little gamer. And as a dad, that is like, it just brings me so much joy to see that.
It's absolutely awesome. And I agree. Like my amazing partner, Epic Lala Girl, her daughters actually have been playing tons of it. So they were waiting because they wanted to play with us. And then we got into basically the situation where they were able to play, and then they've just been loving it. They've been playing Overcooked nonstop together. And then now they're playing this because they're also huge Minecraft fans. So it's absolutely awesome to see them connecting this concept.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. The sound effect there stepped on you for a second because I just realized that there was another fun clip that you provided from your channel. We're going to play this one. This looks. What are you playing here? What is this that you're playing? This clip. Hold on. Let's. This looks like Overwatch, but I know it's not that. What is it? What are you playing here in this clip? What is this other game?
Is Scrap Mechanic.
Let's check it out.
To see if it works. If we could actually go in here. I earned that.
Wait, what is that? It almost looks like Nintendo Labo or something. What are you playing there?
Scrap Mechanic is a game that's been out since I believe 2016. It's been in early access the entire time, and they basically released a survival mode recently, but the whole game is based on creation. So you get resources that you can use to build. So the vehicle that you were looking at was my attempt to design a sawing vehicle to help me saw down trees so that I could get more wood.
Okay.
That vehicle in and of itself is already like heavily detailed. The saw can come up 45 degrees to get it off of the ground. It can go back down vertically. Then I can turn the blade horizontally to make it easier to chop down a tree, but then I turn it back vertically to chop the thicker like planks that are on the ground into something that's easier to pick up. And the resource gatherer will automatically pick them up. So I can chop down an entire tree and never have to get out. It's an amazing game that I feel like anybody who's interested in STEM and who has kids that are interested in STEM will very likely love, because it allows you to do the same kind of things that you could do in high tier Minecraft and actually go create. But it's very interesting in that the bricks are at a smaller scale. So instead of a brick taking up half of your height, a brick's actually tiny. So you got to string together a ton of bricks to do things. But once you start combining them in weird ways, you can do pretty cool things. So that was my attempt at making a helicopter, even though I knew it wouldn't fly. I was just like, all right. And then I was not expecting to get destroyed when I got out of it.
I want to show one more clip, and then I'm going to take a very short break just so that because I haven't done this yet since we started almost 4 hours ago. Just a quick bathroom break for me and an opportunity to get like a cold drink so I can do the rest of the show. But DJ, obviously, over the last couple of weeks, a lot of streamers, particularly black streamers, have been kind of stepping forward and really kind of speaking to this kind of moment that we're all living through. And I just want to play a recent clip from one of your streams. We're going to go to that clip. Let me see here. I have to mute the jukebox again because I don't want it playing over you. Let's just go to this clip real quick.
50 states. Sweet. And like 16 or 17 countries are protesting Black Lives Matter. Because not only are we protesting against the concept that Black lives don't matter, not only are we protesting to like let people know like, hey, look, when you come in and say
all lives matter,
that's trash, because in no way, shape, or form are people who are black saying that all lives don't matter. But I'll use the analogy of the burning house again. If you go as a firefighter to a house that is on fire and you open up the hose to it, and somebody from across the street with a house that's perfectly fine comes up and says,
Hey, excuse me, my house matters as well. Can you just spray my house?
Firefighter's gonna look at you crazy because like, my dude, this house is on fire. Your house is fine. There's no reason for me to focus this fire hose to help put fires out onto your house that is perfectly fine. So that's what it's all about. And there's no reason, there's no way you can't get excited.
Deejay Knight, they're obviously saying it better than I ever could. Pretty much summing up the whole thing in less than 60 seconds. And by the way, DJ, I think also making very good use of that mixer. there to make the All Lives Matter people sound as ridiculous as they do. The helium voice there certainly doesn't help. Certainly doesn't hurt. So I mean, obviously you've been using your platform to speak to this. I just want to kind of ask you directly, like, how you've been feeling. Witnessing everything that's been playing out the last couple of weeks. Rihanna, I thought, put it quite well when she said she's been feeling like this kind of dreadful sense of hope, which I think kind of sums up just how like mixed everyone's emotions are this week. What's your current take on everything that we're seeing? And again, just speak to how you feel like you're using your platform to add your voice to the conversation right now.
Well, dreadful hope is, to be fair, probably the most fantastic way to phrase that. But as someone who's grown up and had to watch as lives were stolen from their families by being murdered by police for years and years, it is amazingly beautiful to see not only this country, but other countries coming in to protest this cause. And it's weird because it's not even just Black Lives Matter that is the issue. The issue altogether is police brutality. And as someone who's had police training, it's very awkward to see people defending police work that is harmful to people, where if I pulled my gun out to anyone in the Air Force that somebody's life wasn't in danger, I would have been stripped of my weapon and sent to prison, like military prison. So I'm excited to see so many people standing up for this amazing cause and realizing that this is not the way that this should be handled. There needs to be reform. And I'm hopeful that reform can happen. We already saw that they're working on reform in Michigan, and hopefully other places can follow suit with that.
We've, as I said, I'm old enough to remember Rodney King, and we've had these moments where it feels like there's going to be a change, and then everything kind of reverts back to the status quo. And again, I don't want to get carried away, but like I said to Rihanna earlier, like when you look at some of these images, not just around America but around the world, like I've never seen anything like this in my lifetime. Does it feel different to you this time?
It does, and that's the thing that has me the most hopeful. I remember Rodney King. People rioted in like that city and a couple other places, but like this time is different. I think it's partially because of so many different factors going into it. We're in a worldwide pandemic where people can't eat, but in other countries, the governments are taking care of their citizens. I believe I talked to somebody from the UK that said that the UK is providing them 80% of their salary while the pandemic is ongoing and they're meant to be quarantined. So we got $1,200. We got $1,200 to last us 10 weeks. So that already sets it up for people to be a little angry. So you add in the fact that just since around March, when the quarantine started, when they started to stress, like stay at home, we've lost Ahmaud Arbery, we've lost Breonna Taylor, we've lost George Floyd. Like if I can list off multiple names that have been taken, their lives have been taken in just not 3 months yet? Just about 3 months. Like that's trash. And that is a sign that change needs to happen. But when you combine the fact that people are at home bored anyways, and then you add another name to the list, and then just since the protests have started, we've lost David McAtee, who was feeding protesters and police. The names continue, the lists go on. So the fact that everywhere is recognizing that this is trash and people are getting out in the streets instead of staying at home, that makes them heroes in the fact that we are literally still in a worldwide pandemic and the possibility of getting sick is high. So what else do they have to focus on? Like what else do people have to focus on other than these things that are bombarded to us at all times? So I feel like that's a beautiful thing that people are just coming in to focus and get big in it. And then the joy for me is, I feel like I'm rambling, my bad.
No, go ahead. This is the whole point of this.
The joy for me is people seeing that police brutality is a big deal. There are many chains of tweets. There are many videos that have gone viral of police attacking peaceful protesters. Police are the people who are escalating this when I'm very frustrated at all of it because the Air Force creed is integrity first, service before self, excellence in all we do. But when I watch a video of police officers standing on the highway firing tear gas into a crowd of people yelling and fearful while they're trying to escape the tear gas, if that's not brutality, I don't know what is.
This is why I'm glad you're on the show, DJ, not just because you're a super interesting and fun dude, but also because I think you just said it better than anyone could. And thank you for that.